G'day everyone. So today's video is about the reason why the law of attraction is actually outdated. So I want to start off with the fact that I think law of attraction implies too much waiting. So the fact that, just the way it's worded, so the law of attraction, you're attracting something to you, therefore, if it's being attracted to you, then all you have to do is wait. But in reality, I think uh, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. So if you don't actually take the action to, manifest that thing, then, most likely, you can still attract things to you for sure. But if you want to manifest instantly, if you want to manifest as fast as possible, what it's really about is the law of commitment. So I'll start off with a study by an Australian scientist. So shout out Australia. But he basically found that children who are committed to an activity, we use playing the piano as an example, they actually learnt 3 times faster in half the time if they were committed. Meaning that if they actually thought that they were going to be playing the piano for the rest of their life or the next 15 years, if in long term they knew they were still going to be playing the piano, they actually learnt 3 times faster in half the time compared to the kids who just thought they were doing piano for the end of the year or for 5 years or, less. They were less committed. And so the kids who actually thought they were only doing piano for a year actually ended up getting worse with lessons. They ended up getting worse. And if you think about it, it's because those kids are committing to, their future self, which is the one that's not going to be playing piano at the end of this year. So every, lesson brings them closer to their goal, meaning every lesson makes them worse at, to become someone who doesn't play piano. What versus, vice versa, the kids who knew they were going to be doing it for 20 years, they were actually subconsciously visualizing that version of themselves who would be really, really good at piano, and they're slowly, climbing to that point. And so basically, the more committed you are to something, the faster you learn and the faster you actually get to that point. And so the key lies in actually visualizing that most abundant version of yourself, or visualizing yourself that has already completed the goal, and then looking back. Because if we just look at our current circumstances and say, oh, I don't have enough money to do this, or I don't have that, then nothing changes. Like, for example, if it was your highest excitement to go to the movies and, or go to the movies or go out for dinner, and you look at your bank account and you say, I really shouldn't, I want to be rich, so therefore I should save money and not do that. But you're actually blocking yourself off from blessings, and you're embodying and taking action on the least abundant part of yourself that says, I need to save money to become rich. And so, you could have gone out for dinner that night because it's in your highest excitement, meaning, you actually felt like doing it and you're not forcing it. But you could have went out for dinner and, met someone like a business partner. You could have met an investor. You could have met just a friend. That's abundance. A friend that then leads you to something else, that leads you to something else. But I think there's a saying like, when you're manifesting, you can't really expect someone to just come and kick down your door with a big bag of money. You actually need to be out in like the marketplace to attract those opportunities. The more open you are to these opportunities, the more likely they are to come about, and therefore the faster they will come about. And so think about synchronicity. So synchronicity is a good one because a lot of people say it, but what does it actually mean? Synchronicity. And so you can sort of break down the word. It comes from the word like synchronized, synchronicity. And so what it really means is just two events. It's a lot like coincidence. It's co-incidence. So two incidents happening at the same time because they're so synchronicity is the same, and it's two, two, it could be two people, or it could be even you and your highest reality self come into synchronicity, or it could be you and another person who's also vibing high come into synchronicity. But all it means is you and your higher self, or you and this other person, are doing the same thing. So then you end up crossing paths, and so you start thinking, what would my most abundant self do today? What would my most abundant self wear today? What would they think today? How would they feel, more importantly, as well? And so these things lead you on the trail to actually taking action, and meeting connections, and being you could just go on a walk. You don't have to meet a connection, but you could go on a walk and be inspired by a really abundant idea that generates abundance for you. And of course, the half and half, the tricky part is not forcing these things, not forcing yourself to go to a walk, go to dinner and spend money, but notice when it's in your highest excitement, when you actually feel like this is good for you, and then don't let fear block that. So yeah, another reason why law of attraction is outdated is because people think, basically, if I think negative thoughts, then I'll manifest a negative outcome, when it's actually the opposite of that. You actually need to go into those negative thoughts and make peace. And once you've made peace with that, then you've conquered your fears. You've made peace with your fears. And once you've made peace with your fears, you're free to take action, which then manifests the reality that you want. So it's actually through the fear that we manifest our highest timeline. Alright, I hope that was helpful, and I'll leave my socials down below if anyone needs support or a chat. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.